Kamala Harris, Vice President of the Democrats. You studied law. You were General Attorney of the state of California. You have to understand that when you speak about things that you don't know anything about it, you're embarrassing yourself. You're making fun of yourself. And you're representing Democrats. You're doing wrong to the Democrats. Now, you talked about the Amazon being the lungs of the world. Well, you have to study about botany. You have to study about the Amazon. First of all the oxygen that Amazon makes, it makes for itself. It uses all the oxygen that it produces. Now, the world get the oxygen from the ocean, and I don't have to explain to you because it's very clear in the internet. You ask if the Amazons are responsible for the world oxygen. They're going to explain to you that who is responsible for the world oxygen is the oceans. And they explain how. It's a 30-minute video, and you're gonna understand that you made a mistake. And when we make the mistake, we have to recognize it and say we're sorry. Otherwise, we won't think that you made a mistake. You did it on purpose. You had ministry. You did it on purpose. Now, you said also that you want to blame Jair Messias Bolsonaro for the burnings in the Amazon. What about California burning? Did you control California burning? No, you didn't control. You know what's the size of the Amazon? Only the part that's inside Brazil. 5 million square kilometers. 5 million square kilometers. That's more than half of the United States. That's only the Amazon that's in Brazil, not the neighboring countries. And you want someone to control the Amazon. That's impossible. That's impossible. First of all, you don't have how to get to the Amazon. You cannot even walk in the Amazon. It's so dark. You can fly from the top, but you don't see the bottom. And it's full of water. I don't understand how a place full of water can take can somebody go and just put fire. I don't understand how they do that. Now you have Indians. You told that there are 1 million Indians. How do you know there are 1 million Indians? Did you count them by yourself? Nobody knows what's going on in the Amazon forest. You don't have any access. You cannot land in the Amazon because the Indians are going to kill you. Their immune system, they don't have the same immune system that we have. They catch a cold, they die. So they don't like the white people to invade. Any people, not just white, any people who are not Indians. but not local Indians. Because also Indians have different tribes. They don't get along with those tribes. They kill each other. They're not law-abiding. There's no statutory rape. They can use drugs. They can sell drugs. They're practically, in the Brazilian law, considered not human. They don't answer any case. They're not really reliable. Not law reliable. So when you talk about something that you don't know, it shows that you're not a responsible person. You lose credit. Not only you. Joe Biden is the same thing. It doesn't look like he's capable of running a country. Not like United States. Maybe a small island in the Caribbean. Not United States. United States needs somebody who's very strong. And the Democrats are not strong. They're not convincing in their argument. They are not convincing in their wisdom. Kamala Harris, if people investigate your job as Attorney General of California, they will find so many things wrong that you have done. You can go to a jail time, a life jail time. First of all, it's very suspicious that the bank you dismissed the case. The One West Bank, you didn't dismiss the case. We're talking about billions of dollars that people lost with this bank. The fraudulent foreclosure. And other things too. The police in LA shoot and kill 3,000 people. You don't know whether they are innocent or not. They just shoot them. A year. That's a lot of killing. That's a lot of murder. It's a lot of violence. I know that California have more population than any state of the United States, but have too much crime. And you didn't control. You wasn't a good professional. And you come and say that you are a black, that you're from Jamaica, your father's from Jamaica, your mother is Indian. But Indian from where? From Jamaica or from India? No, both countries are not in Africa. You're not an African origin. You're not. That's like me saying that I'm African because all the Israel people were declared to be Israeli people in Africa. They were slaves for 420 years in Egypt, which is in Africa. We never said that we are African origin. Africa didn't want the people that they sold for slavery. And there was no slavery. That's one thing you have to understand. In slavery time, there was no other option of work, surviving. Whether you have the monarchy, the rich people, or you have people who are not qualified. Now, people who are not qualified, they cost more than they produce. That's why in a lot of countries, it didn't continue the slavery. People had to be qualified. By the salaries of today, and by the money that we have today, it costs $200,000 to buy a slave. You compare, you see the gold money that they spent, and you compare it to the worth of today's gold, cost $200,000 every slave, and it cost between $5,000 to $10,000 to maintain every family. So it was not free labor. It was not free labor. Today, people get less money to work, and they don't call it slavery. In Brazil, 54% of Brazilian people live with $80 a month. $80 a month. So first you have to read a little more, to know other languages. I've been studying 14 different languages. Of course, that you have many accents in a single language, especially English, French, Russian, Italian, because they don't respect the Latin pronunciation. In Latin, we just have 5 vowels: A, E, I, O, U. That's it. Now, the English people, the Anglo-Saxon people, they write bus with a U. You pronounce U. You have to pronounce bus, like in Spanish. In Spanish and Italian, just have 5 vowels. Not like Portuguese, not like French, not like English. English, they write two O's and they pronounce it U. And they have a island. They write it with an S, but they don't pronounce the S. So if you want people not to have accent, you just respect the Latin rules. Like the French, they write petit, but you're not supposed to pronounce petit. You have to pronounce petit. So then they complain why people don't pronounce it right. They don't respect the Latin pronunciation. And Latin is very wide spread used. And you can speak Japanese. You can write Japanese in Roman letters. The same in Chinese, pinyin. You have a Semitic language like Maltese that you write to Latin letters, not with not in Arabic letters or Hebrew letters. So what I want you to understand that don't make this mistake again, that you're talking about things that you don't know. Try to blame a guy that is fighting almost alone against corruption. 500 years of corruption in this country. Everybody's against. In the government, people against Bolsonaro. In the government, even his own party, people want to continue the corruption, the theft, the killing, the wrongdoing. And he is the one, the only one who wants to change this. All the country, 85% of the country are affected directly from the corruption. They lose from the corruption. But he cannot die. He cannot perish. And because we don't have right now somebody else who is ready to do this job. He is a hero. He has a lot of courage. And that's what a soldier has to have: courage, intelligence. He's a good man. He's not a madman. He's a good father. Like Donald Trump, he's a good father. And you judge people how they treat their own. You said that you have Jamaican, half Indian, and you're African. This is, you have to know that Africa has 54 countries, and it doesn't include India, it doesn't include Jamaica. So that's that you have to go back to school and to learn that geography is it's very important when you speak about geography. You have to know. Everybody blame you for using the black card in the deck. It doesn't work anymore. There is no prejudice in the United States. There's no prejudice. If a black person is a good singer, everybody wants to go to his shows, everybody wants to buy his CDs, everybody enjoy his music. Of course, there are people who don't like black music. There are people who like only rock and roll, like white music. But all over the world, people listen to black music, even though they don't understand a single word. So it's very successful. In the NBA, the most of the players are black, and they're not majority in the United States. So if you can do something good, you get recognized. Prejudice it's a different thing. It's when you, no matter what you do, how good you are, you won't have a chance. And that's not the United States. The United States is not like this. Yeah. Now you talking about Donald Trump saying that he doesn't know how to make money. He doesn't know how to run things. You couldn't run the state of California. And everybody knows that something is wrong. I know a little bit more. I'm not supposed to speak without authorization, but I know a little bit more about you. If I open my mouth, you're gonna die in jail. Not just gonna go to jail, you're gonna die in jail. It was a serious crime. You had a lot of power when you were general attorney. And you were the worst general attorney of California. You just got to be attorney general because you were a female, not because you were a good one. You don't sound like a good person. You don't. You're not black. You're very different from black people, black women. You don't sound like black. You don't speak like black. You don't act like black. And you don't like black. That's why you married a man that is not black. So now you're trying to cheat everybody, con everybody, and you forget that nobody's stupid anymore. We create the computers. I am in the field of computers since the 70s, before the PC was introduced by IBM, before Bill Gates and Paul Allen. In my time, only the army had computers. And the army is 50 years ahead than the civil technology. I almost sure that the United States people, American citizens, will know what is best for them. They won't be manipulated anymore. Everybody have an access of internet. This is not China. China prohibits everything. Even those jokes that you're trying to make be funny, it's not allowed in communist countries. You cannot be an honorary comedian in China, in North Korea, Cuba, Venezuela. You can't. You go to jail. You probably die in jail. Very bad conditions. So you have to understand, if you, President Chevez, is left, and you support the left parties all over the world, you have to understand that you cannot use humor. You're not allowed to use humor because you cannot play in both teams at the same time. So I don't think you have the capacity, I don't think you're smart enough to solve any problem. Any problem. I'll give you an example. California have the national park, have sequoia trees, huge trees, that they grow over 100 meters. United States, half of the United States is desert. Why don't you plant sequoia trees in the desert? Why don't you do that? If you plant the desert and you bring all the water from the ocean, the water level in the ocean go down. Then you're gonna fight the global warming. You're gonna fight. And this water cycle will start happening in the desert. We have 30% desert in the world. If you worry about global warming, why don't you plant in the desert? Why you're worried about the Amazon when nobody can do anything about it? You can't invade. How are you going to get to the Amazon? With a helicopter? How much stuff you can carry? Very little. So no, it's somebody's fault. It's nobody's fault. We want to listen to solutions. Just solutions. Israel have a parliament called Knesset. 50 years ago, everybody was shouting, nobody was listening to anybody. Everybody was speaking at the same time, and nothing was being solved. They couldn't take care of anything. Then they decided that you can only criticize if you bring a solution. And all of a sudden, everybody's quiet. Because what is hard is to bring solutions, real solutions. So first of all, you have to know the problem. And don't con people, don't cheat people, tell them that Donald Trump is responsible for the virus. First of all, he's not a physician. He's not a biochemist. He's not his job. You have to complain about people that have this job with medical doctors. Why don't you complain with them? Because you're not able to understand the problem. Nobody knows what is the solution. This is the fear this is the suffering, world suffering with this COVID-19, this virus, this Chinese virus. China gave a rank of general to a woman, Chinese woman, and she responsible for developing this virus in Wuhan. I know this Chinese general. I know her because I belong to the academy, International Academy of the Cossacks, Russian Academy. It doesn't belong to the army. It's not a government academy, because I belong to a different army already. I can't go to a different army. An army is not like a basketball team. You can go transfer from one team to another. You can't. And all the intelligence agencies, they exchange information, they work together. Because of terrorism, they got too strong, they got too powerful. So in 2015 in Turkey, when the G20 met, which is 19 countries plus all the European community, they decided that terrorism is not a crime, because criminals have a convention. They are included in the Convention of Human Rights. Terrorists are not included anymore. They don't have any rights. And if you have to capture them and it's dangerous, you can shoot and kill them. They do not recognize people's right to live. And they use the Al-Quran for that purpose. And the Al-Quran doesn't say that, doesn't preach terrorism. And first of all, the Arabs have to make peace with themselves. The worst enemies are the terrorists. And they got the conclusion already around Israel that terrorists are not humans. Egypt support Israel against Hamas. Jordan don't recognize Hamas as a state, a Palestinian state. The word Palestinian means invaders. That was given by Harold the King, that he invaded the Middle East and call it the place of the invaders. If you say yourself that you're a Palestinian, then you don't have a place anymore, because the word said you are an invader. So people have to understand that my family are more than 6,000 years in Israel, and it wasn't a place for so many people to live because there's no water. All the water today, they come from Sea of Galilee, and it couldn't be used before. Because I was surrounded by malaria. The state of Israel could have at most 50,000 people, not 9 million that have today. The Arabs who live in Israel, they get free electricity, free healthcare, education, everything from Israel. They live better than any Arab in the Middle East. Better than United Arab Emirates that slave people for $200 a month and have a rate of 30% suicide rate. So the best place to live for the Arabs in the Middle East is Israel. And they know that, they don't want to live. And they don't hate Israel. They're jealous. But Israel cannot accept a citizen because there is a war. So you can't trust your enemy. If the Arabs come with peace, we accept peace. Although there are a lot of people that don't want peace anymore with the Arabs. They want to kill the Arabs. You were hurt personally. They lost people in the family. Terrorist attack is something terrible. If you have a kid, you have to raise a kid without a leg, without a hand, blind. People are suffering every day from terrorism in Israel. So you cannot, going through a war, going through a culture without understanding the language, the problems, the culture, the science, the education. You can't do that. You can't even understand what's going on in your state, California. California is it's a kangaroo state. The INS, and that's gonna have a separate video explaining about the INS, and I'm gonna speak about immigration in the United States to solve this immigration problem once for all. I can do that. And by listening to me, you can see that I can do that. I'm going to be convinced because I'm going to talk about the truth. Really, I don't have any opinion. I'm a scientist. I'm a top scientist. I have nominations for six Nobel Prizes. For 6 Nobel Prizes. I have nominations. But each one we have to talk a lot about, so you understand why I'm a nominee and who gave me this nomination. Well, that's United Nations International Force. That's 6,000 members, and they won the 1988 Peace Prize, competing with Nelson Mandela, Dalai Lama 14. And they won. And later on, Mandela got his nomination and his medal, and also the Lama 14. And the reason Mandela got his prize was that he followed my advice, exchange information for amnesty, promise not to have a revenge on the white people, because then they would just leave the country and you'll be left with a country practically with nothing. And get rid of the atomic bomb. The only country that had an atomic bomb was South Africa. It was like the United States of Africa. So he got rid voluntarily, without anybody forcing him to get rid of those bombs. So he got the Nobel Prize. He didn't want to jail because he was a saint. He was a terrorist. He killed people that he didn't know, just to protest. People haven't had any participation of apartheid. So that's it for now. I don't like to speak too much because people can't concentrate so much. And the rest are gonna speak in a different video, because what is gonna be this time is gonna happen something that never happened in the United States. Donald Trump will win anonymously in all 50 countries. It never happened before. That a candidate won in all 50 countries. Because people understand the danger that the United States is going through. They're going to lose the country, and they're going to be a slave. All Americans are going to be a slave to Chinese. They won't treat you better than they treat the Chinese. They have 700 million people who are living like slaves. They live like jail life, outside jail. You don't want this. You don't know how is the life in China. You don't know how is the life in Cuba, Venezuela. That's like going to practically to hell. So everybody who's is getting money and think of only about him or herself in the government, it's gonna be caught. You don't have stupid people in the United States anymore. You don't have. You might have ignorant people who read everything and want to ignore. People who make a hole in the ground, put their head and said, I don't see anything, so there's no problem. So that's for now. I don't want to extend that video. I will talk about immigration in the next video, and I will solve this problem once and for all. My name is here, and I'm talking practically as a impartial person. I don't have sides. I'm not left. I'm not right. I just would like to do the right things. That's why I took the left party down in Israel, created the Likud in the 70s. That's my party in Israel. I don't have an Israeli citizen because of confidential reasons. And I took down the Labour Party here, the PT, because they are not ready to adjust their party to according to Russia and ex-communist countries. They are not interested in communism anymore. They are interested to have an economy like the United States. And they can make it. They can make it. We just have to be more honest. Enough with cheating, enough of using names, calling people by names, criticizing the unfair, and we're going to come out of this situation that are in today, that the United States have to invest their companies in Mexico, like Japan and Korea. And Mexico won't go anymore to the United States to work. They can work in Mexico. Mexico will be a great country. They're not far from being a country that you can live like the United States in Mexico. You don't have to cross the border. Just give them good jobs, and they will are not going to be desperate. And we have to come to an agreement, to make an agreement with the United States, all South America, all North America. We have to buy from each other and take care of who takes care of us. We have to take care of each other, because Asia is not going to take care of us. Whatever they can do to make money, they will do. They do not believe in God. Satan believes in God. So the worst is Satan. Satan came to destroy, kill, and steal. But they respect that. When God gives an order, the devil applies. He respect. Now the Chinese do not believe in God. Don't know what to expect from them. They will do everything, anything, for money, and even selling their people for organs. A person can save 50 lives. So a person that is a homeless, just taking, cleaning his system out of bad food and bad nutrition, and give him a shot and start selling his part for it. You can make a lot of money. Somebody is practically doesn't worth anything for the society. They can do that. So it's a very dangerous society. It's a very violent society. So that's it. That's what I want to speak in this video. I hope I succeed to help you with revealing more truth. I'm interested only in facts and truth. I'm not a manipulator. I'm not a party member. I'm for the solutions of the problems in the world. I'm only interested in solutions, in facts. There are things that happen, but we don't have facts. So for the justice system, it doesn't exist. We cannot operate different wise. So that's it. Thank you for listening to me, and I hope it's going to be useful, the information that I passed in this video. Thank you very much. Good night.